Just picture it. Being dizzy, not able to look into the light, and not being able to focus, and having a hard time listening and paying attention. With thousands of kids playing sports all over the United States, a couple of them are going to get some injuries. And one of these severe injuries they might occur is a concussion. And a concussion is very hard to notice with the naked eye. You have to be able to know the symptoms. Without concussions being properly diagnosed and be given the proper treatment, concussions can have scary effects on the human brain. The main topics that I'm going to talk about with noticing how concussions are and their impact will be how it's necessary for a parent, a player, and a coach to be able to notice a concussion and not almost kind of be able to treat it, but be able to notice it and act upon that. And then what a person with a concussion could do, and with a physician can tell them, stuff like that. And preventable steps one can make to help them prevent future concussions and help minimize an impact. My name is Austin Drefs. I'm a marketing major at Iowa State University and a past collegiate football player, and I have had a couple concussions myself, so I'm going to be informing you about concussions and the impact that they have. To start things off, in the Mayo Clinic staff print, a concussion is where there is an impact to the head that causes bruising on the brain. They also in the clinic, they talk about the different degrees and stages of concussions. How you have a minor concussion, which a lot of players might call that being like getting your bell rung. It might not feel like you have a concussion, but it can take you away from the game if properly noticed. It can take you away for a couple weeks all the way up to a month. And those symptoms could be from being nauseous to being very tired and having constant headaches. The worst one would be having a severe concussion, and it can be long-lasting and permanent to your health, so it can impact you for the rest of your life. And it can put you out for a whole season. The symptoms from that can range from not being able to focus, not being able to be out where the sunlight is, and having headaches just for months. And the good thing is a lot of coaches and physicians are required to have common knowledge on concussions, so that when a player does have one on the field, they're able to notice it, and etc. like that. But it's sad because there's a common misconception, as in, you don't leave the field. A lot of players, they'll play, you play through anything. And when a person does not give themselves time to heal from their concussion, and they go back in too soon, and they let their brain just get bruised over and over and over again, it could turn something that was just a mild, not that big of a concussion, or it might not even been a concussion, and turn it to something very severe and health, life-threatening. And another misconception is that some athletes act like, the game is everything, and that is not correct. There's life after football. I had to learn that myself, because I would rather, at the time, I'd rather die than have to step off the football field. But, I had to, once I got towards the end of my collegiate career, I was, when my knees started hurting, I was like, this isn't for me. And then I've had a couple concussions where it was like, I don't know if this is affecting me now, but it's about time to put up the gear. And it's hard to notice that when you're young and all you want to do is play that sport. And a big thing is in football, and I know this is for football, I think a lot of other sports have it too, that they'll make you take a baseline test to notice it. And you have to answer these questions that are math questions, memory questions, and a lot of players will purposely bomb that test so that when a time does come, they will not be able to, or when the time does come to take the test after having a concussion, the test score is already so low that they'll be able to play, and setting themselves out into the wild when they are not 100% healed, and so they're not taking it seriously because, like I said, they're only focused on playing the sport. And concussions are, they're not such a big thing back when I was in high school. Now, I know my high school now gives you 3 concussions. If you have 3 concussions throughout your high school career, you are done. and you are no longer allowed to play. So yeah, so now we just need to get that through the heads of the college students and high school students that they need to take this seriously, and so that they're able to adapt to these different challenges that they might have to endure, just because concussions all over are very bad for them. There are preventable steps that people are able to take to help prevent concussions or minimize the impact of a concussion. You know, and one thing that is a big misconception is a mouthpiece. Mouthpieces, while a lot of them might offer, you know, thousands of dollars if you break your teeth, you know, and dental, the biggest thing is to find a good mouthpiece that helps absorb the impact when your jaw gets hit. It takes some of the cushioning, and you know, and then a good helmet too. And they say the worst kind of helmet for football would be one that has studs right here, and it just focuses all that power right there. So you want something that's going to help absorb an impact. And now they're making other sports, like I heard pretty soon they want to get soccer with all mouthpieces. And basketball right now, everyone must have a mouthpiece. So that is one of the biggest things. And the biggest one is making people aware of concussions, as in, you know, having parents know. So when their kid goes home and no one may have noticed them having concussion symptoms, a parent can notice it and maybe take it to a physician. You know, and trying to make it so players aren't scared of letting their team down if they go in and, you know, say, you know, they have a concussion, you know, because you got to think about your future when it comes to head injuries. So in conclusion, we have identified the different types of concussions and the impacts they can have on your body. So just think about it this way: the next time that you go hang out with your friends and you do something physical and you take a hard impact, and your head might you might have rang your bell a little bit, make sure you sit down and take a break before you go back onto the field, because you never know, it might just be your last concussion.